Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. This video is about 1 Corinthians 4. Keep in mind I'm not gay. They like to make it so I sound gay quite often at the beginning, what have you. So, in this chapter, we're going to see that there's some very key parts here. So I care very little if I am judged by you or any human court, but I will come to you very soon, if the Lord's willing. Then I will find out not only how these arrogant people are talking, but what power they have. For the kingdom of heaven is not a matter of talk, but of power. I quoted this in Santa Cruz. I've quoted this all over the place. Okay, just today, I made a video, the first 2 chapters. I'm back at my house now where I'm also being fumed here. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and 1 Corinthians chapter 2 I made in Morgan Hill, in whatever that shopping center is called, where there's Sushi Nera, there's McDonald's, there's Nob Hill, what have you. And there were people acting very strange. So now let's get into this 1 Corinthians chapter 4, and keep in mind that it kind of centers around that verse 20. For the kingdom of heaven is not a matter of talk, but of power. And he's saying, what kind of power do these people have? And they don't have power, right? They're hiding behind the government. They refuse to debate me publicly. Okay, they're worshiping the devil. They don't have the power to man up, right? Virtue means man. They don't have the power to tell the truth publicly, right? The way, the truth, and the life. They do not have power. They beat around the bush. They tell half-truths. They lie. They do not point to me. When you don't point to me, you're just an evil demon. The nature of true apostleship. This then is how you ought to regard us, as servants of Christ and as those entrusted with the mysteries God has revealed. Now it is required that those who have been given a trust must prove faithful. I care very little if I am judged by you or by any human court. Indeed, I do not even judge myself. My conscience is clear. But that does not make me innocent. It is the Lord who judges me. He will bring to light what is hidden in darkness and will expose the motives of the heart. So he will bring to light what is hidden in darkness and will expose the motives of the heart. Right? The Lord weighs the heart is what it says in Proverbs. Now, brothers and sisters, I've applied these things to myself and Apollos for your benefit, so that you may learn from us the meaning of the saying, do not go beyond what is written. Then you will not be puffed up in being a follower of one of us against the other. For what makes you different from anyone else? What do you have that you did not receive? And if you did receive it, why do you boast as though you did not? Already you have all you want. Already you have become rich. You have begun to reign, and that without us. How I wish that you really had begun to reign, so that we also might reign with you. For it seems to me that God has put us apostles on display at the end of the procession, like those condemned to die in the arena. We have been made a spectacle to the whole universe, to angels as well as to human beings. We are fools for Christ, but you are so wise in Christ. We are weak, but you are strong. You are honored, we are dishonored. To this very hour we go hungry and thirsty. We are in rags. We are brutally treated. We are homeless. Remember, Paul cites it many times in his letters, right? 1st and 2nd Timothy, Corinthians, what have you, that you will be persecuted if you do what's right. And if you're really an adult, you're going to do what's right? You're going to be raised right, you're going to do what's right. So anyone who's not persecuted for doing what's right, never grew up. We work hard with our hands. When we are cursed, we bless. When we are persecuted, we endure it. When we are slandered, we ask kindly. We have become the scum of the earth, the garbage of the world, right up to this moment. Paul's appeal and warning. I am writing this not to your shame, but to warn you as my dear children. Even if you had 10,000 guardians in Christ, you do not have many fathers. For in Christ Jesus I became your father through the gospel. Therefore I urge you to imitate me. For this reason I have sent to you Timothy, my son, whom I love, who is faithful in the Lord. He will remind you of my way of life in Christ Jesus, which agrees with what I teach everywhere in every church. Some of you have become arrogant, as if I were not coming to you. But I will come to you very soon, if the Lord's willing, and then I will find out not only how these arrogant people are talking, but what power they have. For the kingdom of heaven is not a matter of talk, but of power. So you see that other people don't have spiritual power. The kingdom of heaven is not a matter of talk, but of power. And few me to make it harder for me to speak means nothing, but they're so full of folly that they've committed to that fanatically. And they've committed to interrupting me in my videos, which is also stupid. So for the kingdom of heaven is not a matter of talk, but of power. What do you prefer? Shall I come to you with a rod of discipline, or should I come to you in love and a gentle spirit? So this chapter is pretty straightforward. Notice that he doesn't care about human judgment or the court's judgment. Okay, only God's judgment. And so people should only care about God's judgment and my judgment at this time. Okay, and almost certainly no one's going to obey God through me, so that's how the human story ends. Where among the people in the flesh in this world, my opinion, my judgment is the only one that matters. Everyone else doesn't have good enough judgment to obey God through me. It's open and shut. You should see how these people are acting like frat guys, they're acting like idiots, acting like weirdos at the weirdest gay parade you've seen in your life. They're acting like white supremacists, like arrogant rich people, right? And that's how they're referred to in the letters, right? They're arrogant. You know, they're some kind of lunatics, like, you know, Freemasons are depicted in popular culture, we'll say. Just completely out of touch with reality, ritual madness, just sheeple, just following the crowd, not capable of sound judgment, quite often looking at things in terms of, you know, degrees in school and what kind of grades people get in school. When you're getting good grades in school, you're not paying attention to something else. Now, what is it? We see the masses of college graduates. Everyone with a PhD right now doesn't know what they're doing. Everyone with a master's degree doesn't know what they're doing. Everyone else with a bachelor's degree doesn't know what they're doing. You know, college education isn't worth very much when it comes to life intelligence. It just makes you some kind of an idiot who thinks they know something, some kind of an arrogant person speaking in intellectual jargon, what have you. I've said it many times, the word school is a play on words for looks, right? School spelled backwards, right? Or scrambled. You get LOOHCS, right? And put the other S at the end, right? So you get the word looks with a CH instead of a K.